Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Ethereum. What's going on? If you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. We also have the sale on the premium list. You can find a link to that in the description below as well. And finally, we have the new t-shirts in the store. What's a few trillion among friends? So if you guys are looking for a t-shirt, make sure you guys go check that out. Let's go ahead and jump in. So I think we're in a phase of the cycle where a lot of people are sort of unsure of what's going on. And I think that is somewhat natural. I think that's somewhat natural. Undoubtedly, we've entered a different phase of the cycle. What phase is that? It's the test of the 20-week SMA by Bitcoin, not by Ethereum. But we pay our respects to Bitcoin, and we know that Bitcoin controls the market. Okay, so we look at this and we say, well, why has Ethereum hesitated a little bit? First of all, we should take note that this this massive correction that it seems like we've had, if you go on crypto Twitter, we fell to the price we were at last week. Ethereum's currently at 38.34. So where are we in terms of its valuation against USD and its valuation against Bitcoin? Well, the first thing to ask is, can Ethereum pump when Bitcoin is riding the 20-week SMA, when Bitcoin comes down to the 20-week SMA from a major price discovery mode? In order to understand that, we simply need to go back in time and go look at what happened in the last cycle. So here's a good example of the last cycle where Bitcoin was testing the 20-week SMA. You can see that the first test started in mid-January and it ran through the middle of May. We also know that in mid-January to the middle of May in 2016, Ethereum was pumping. It pumped through March and it came back down and then pumped again through May. So there is at least some evidence that Ethereum can pump against Bitcoin even if Bitcoin is riding the 20-week moving average. If we go look at another time period, in early 2017, Bitcoin had a test we had a wick down close to it early March, and then we had 3 candles that took up basically all of March, testing the 20-week SMA. What happened in March of 2017 with the Ether Bitcoin valuation? So March of 2017, you can see in March of 2017, Ethereum still pumped against Bitcoin. And it wasn't until after that test of the 20-week was over that Ethereum had any type of significant correction. Okay, and I mean, this wasn't even that bad, but it was a 42.5% drop against Bitcoin. Remember, when you look at the entire market cycle, it sort of makes these moves seem like nothing, even though when you're living through it, it is actually a lot more, and it's a lot harder to experience them on a day-to-day basis. So you can see that in this period, and by the way, it's not like it had just started pumping. Ethereum had already started pumping against Bitcoin in January, and it continued on, and it didn't stop until June. But the first significant pullback happened in April. Okay, what happened in April? Well, in April, Bitcoin rallied off the 20-week SMA. It rallied off the 20-week SMA, and a lot of times when Bitcoin rallies off the 20-week SMA like that or goes down in the short term, a lot of coins can bleed against it just because there's so much uncertainty going on. So what I would say right now, the implication of, okay, well, why has there been some type of hesitation here with the US dollar or the USD valuation of Ethereum? Well, first of all, let's actually realize, what Ethereum has done over the last 427 days, putting in around a 4,300% gain. So let's first recognize that. The second thing we should recognize is that this is so far a red candle, and unless we close above 39.28, so about $100 higher than where we currently are, it will remain a red candle. If the price goes up $100 from the time of this video before the close tomorrow, we could still have a weekly green candle. If you look at daily candles, it really just looks like more or less the same, okay? So you might wonder, well, Ben, what does this mean? I think most of you already probably know what it means. The implication is simple. The implication is super simple. All it means, we look at our 20-week SMA and our 21-week EMA, our little bull market support band. If Bitcoin stays above it, I would say there's a decent chance Ether Bitcoin continues to rally. Okay? If Bitcoin stays above it, Bitcoin doesn't need to necessarily bounce off of it, it just needs to stay above it. If we go below it, then I think confidence will be lost to Ethereum in the short term. Doesn't mean it can't recover. In the grand scheme of the cycle, I think Ethereum will probably trend towards 5 figures, okay? But we always know we can have short-term corrections, and again, it's the risk we take. If Bitcoin dumps below the 20-week, rest assured that Ethereum is gonna go down with it, and probably even have a sharper correction than Bitcoin, because it also put in a higher ROI than Bitcoin, and it is slightly more volatile. Going back to our risk-adjusted returns, yes, Ethereum can give you more upside, potential upside in a bull market, but when things pull back, it can give you more potential downside as well. So what I would be looking for, generally speaking, is as long as Bitcoin stays above this, okay? You might be wondering what those values are. Well, as of this video, and we're about to get a new weekly close here in less than a day, but right now the 21-week EMA is 46,610, and the 21-week EMA, the 21-week EMA is 46,610, and the 20-week SMA is 48,650. So we're right below the 20-week SMA. We're a couple $1,000s above the 21-week EMA. We're coming in on our weekly close in the not so distant future. So if you're wanting to see the Ethereum Bitcoin valuation continue to move up and maybe make a run at 0.1, that'd be a pretty awesome thing for Ethereum to do. What needs to happen? It's simple. Bitcoin needs to stay above the 20-week SMA. If history is any indication, even if it's riding the line after this sort of price discovery mode and coming back down, it's still possible for Ethereum to rally against Bitcoin. I would also say that riding momentum is one indicator. I don't really believe a lot of traditional TA works. I think that, you know, a lot of the little triangles that we may draw from time to time, as long as we end it with and the price goes up, people will then believe that it works. But then when in a bear market, you can sort of draw the same things and they just don't work out that much. So I would say, though, momentum is something that you can ride, and it's hard betting against momentum because it can go up a lot further than you can expect, and it really does take a huge momentum shift to really switch it. And the example here of what would cause a momentum shift would probably be either Bitcoin going back below the 20-week SMA or immediately going back into price discovery. I have a hard time believing that Bitcoin's immediately going to go into price discovery mode next week. Obviously, if there's going to be a momentum shift next week, it would be more likely that it's because Bitcoin's going below the 20-week SMA. Those are the things to keep an eye out for, and we'll continue to navigate this cycle one day, 1 week at a time. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. Let's go for 400,000 subscribers. Also, remember to check out the premium list. You can find a link to that in the description below. And if you want a t-shirt, we also have the t-shirts for women as well. You guys can check those out on the website, What's a Few Trillion, among friends. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.